Hi yogis, today we're going to be doing a restorative practice. You'll need 2 blocks and a bolster. If you don't have blocks, you can use boxes with something inside of them. Books are a great alternative. And then for a bolster, you can also use a pillow. So being mindful during our practice, make sure that you're practicing ahimsa. Know that you can modify your movements at any time. Let's get started. We're going to put our 2 blocks towards the front of our mat, and then we're going to take our bolster or pillow, we're going to turn it horizontal. That's going to be for our knees or behind our knees, and we're going to lay on back. Finding our pranayama practice, we're going to take a nice slow deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Nice slow deep breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Taking a body scan from our toes all the way to the crown of our head as we inhale. Notice any areas of tension, stress, soreness. Exhale out, using that knowledge to modify your movements. Another nice slow deep breath in, tuning into what's going on with our mind. And as we exhale, can we turn our attention to the present moment, to our practice, letting go of our day, not worrying about the past, it's already happened, not worried about the future, it hasn't happened yet, but anchoring on the present moment. And the best way to do that is with our breath. Another nice slow deep breath in. This time sigh out through the mouth with an exhale. Let it all go. Shaking out our hands. And then we're going to float those hands on up as we inhale. And as we exhale, float them on down. Pushing the air around us. Inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale up. Last one, exhale out. Palms face down and stay there. We're going to rotate our head towards one side. Inhale back up towards the center. Exhale over towards the other side. Inhale, come back up towards the center. 2 more times, exhale over. Inhale, back up. Exhale over. Inhale, back up. Inhale, our knees in towards our chest. Hands wrap around the shin and take the knees in a circle, massaging at the lower back. Change of breath, change that rotation, go the other way. Reach down for our bolster or pillow, and we're going to move it towards the left side of our body. And then we're going to drop our knees over towards the right. And we're going to use our bolster to just come along the edge of our spine. Bring our knees so that way they're in line with our hip and our feet are in line with our knees. If you need to move your block, you can. Open those arms out like a T, the letter T. We can choose to have our head looking the direction of our knees, or if we're more of a twist, the opposite direction. And just breathe here. On your inhale, we're going to take our right hand towards our top thigh. We're going to take our left hand towards our left shoulder. And as we exhale, we're going to use those hands to first draw our shoulder down, and then we're going to use our right hand to scoop from our side hip all the way down the thigh towards the knee. This is an adjustment. If it's too intense, then you can just leave your arms out like the letter T. Inhale, bring the hand back up, lift the elbow, and as you exhale, scoop and relax on down. Now come back to the T and notice if there's anything different about this shape. Are you able to relax more? Are you able to find a deeper twist? Two more rounds of breath here. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Turning the palms over. Bring your head back up towards the center. We're going to inhale, bring our knees and our hips back up. We're going to switch our bolster towards the other side. Lining it up with our spine. The top of it's going to reach just about where our armpit is. And we're going to drop the knees over, slide our bolster closer, moving any props out of the way if you need to. Feet in line with knees, knees in line with hip, and then arms flow open. Choosing the gaze that works for you, whether that's looking the direction of your knees, less of a twist, or more is opposite. Just getting comfortable here. We're going to take our right hand towards our right shoulder. Left hand towards the top of our thigh. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift that elbow off, and then as we exhale, we're going to slide the hand down the thigh and relax that shoulder. And then one more time. Inhale, lift, take the hand towards the hip. Exhale, draw the shoulder down and smooth out the hand on the thigh going from the hip towards the top of the knee. And then flip those hands out towards a T. And notice if you have a little bit more release. Can you get the scapula or the shoulder blades closer towards your mat? Two more rounds of breath here. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Inhale, bring the head back up towards the center. Turn the palms over, reach the knees back up towards the center and hips. And then move the bolster. And we're going to have it set up so that way it is horizontal, about where our armpit is. And we're going to drop our knees over towards the side our bolster is on, and we're going to press into the earth to lift on up. We're going to slide that bolster, and if you need to, you can grab a block to support the head. Same alignment that we had before, knee in line with hip, feet in line with the knees, 90 degrees, and then float that top arm up and overhead. So we're really feeling that expansion through the side body in the oblique. If you want to multitask and added bonus stretches, you can take that top leg and extend it over. So now we're getting a little bit more into the legs. And just breathe here. When we're in a restorative practice, we want to come at it at 70%. So we don't want to push and pull and be at our max capacity in a pose when we're doing restorative, because we're going to be here for a long time. Since this is our basics module, module A, we are only going to be holding these poses for a short amount of time. As we go on throughout the semester, that time's going to get a little bit longer. And the purpose of restorative is not only to calm the mind and have it be a little bit more slower pace of a practice, but it's to bypass and get into the connective tissue. With each exhalation, you're sinking onto your props. We're opening and expanding a little bit more with each breath. And as we take our next exhale, if you have that top leg extended, we're going to bring it on in. If you have the top arm up overhead, float it on down. And you're going to scoop it to be in front of your prop, and we're going to gently lift on up. So the smooth transition to get to the other side is to just roll on over, drop the knees, slide that block on over, and wham, we're in the other spot. Just so that way you can see me, I'm just going to switch mine over so that way I'm facing the camera. So you can see me. So knees in line with the feet as best we can, and also with the hip, finding that 90-degree angle. And then once we're there, shoulder blade is relaxed in between the block and the bolster. Float the arm up overhead. And again, if you want an added bonus, if you like to multitask, you can always extend that top leg. Finding the breath. Coming into it where you feel, when I say 70%, coming into it where you can feel that it's barely a stretch. That you're more just relaxing onto a pillow. And then as you go deeper, you might be feeling it a little bit more. Anchoring down on the breath. And if your mind is scattered on the past or the future, use your senses to bring you back to the present moment. So observing the breath is one technique. Second technique is, what do you hear? What do you smell? What do you see? Can you hear the wind chimes in the background of this video? Can you hear the birds chirping? And then as you exhale, bring that top leg in if it was extended. Bring that top arm down. Floating it back. And slowly releasing on up. We're going to build a ramp with our props. So we're going to have our bolster back to being vertical. But before we do that, we're going to build a T. So we're going to take one of our blocks and we're going to place it out vertical. And then we're going to take our other block and we're going to place it on its side horizontal, right in front of it to make a T. We have a theme here. Our last video was 90-degree angles, and now we have the letter T. We're going to take our bolster now. We're going to place it up and over our letter T, so that way it builds a ramp. Our bolster is going to go right in between our thighs. Our knees are going to be out wide, and our big toes are touching. From here, we're going to take our hands on either side of our bolster, and we're going to walk our hands on down, coming into Balasana, Child's Pose. And then turn our gaze towards one side. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, or even for your shins or your ankles, you can lay on your back and hug your knees in towards your chest. So know that that is a variation that's open and available to you. If you notice that your ramp is teeter-tottering and your hips are really up into the air, which is a common misalignment in this pose, see if you can walk your hands on back and try and connect your sit bones with your heels. And you might have to modify and move your props. You might have to bring that block, that top block, up on its highest point to bring the floor closest towards you. If you're in our 200-hour or 300-hour training and you see any of your students doing that, that's a great modification or verbal cue to give your students as well. And once you find yourself in that comfortable position in child's pose, you can close your eyes and again tune into your senses. What do you hear in this moment? What's going on with your body in this moment? Is there anything engaged and can you soften it? So for instance, are you grinding your teeth together? Can you allow a little bit of space in between the top and lower jaw? Can you relax fingertips? Are they gripping the mat? Can you lift each and every one up and relax on down? What do you smell? Sometimes during my yoga practices, I like to light candles or incense. And again, what do you hear? Can you hear the sound of your breath? And as we inhale, we're going to lift on up. We're going to equal out our head. We're going to turn the other way. I'm going to actually lower mine back to how it was. And modifying and what you need for your practice. Using the exhale to just completely surrender onto your prop. And then tune into your senses. How does your body feel? How does your neck feel on this side? We like to think that our bodies are symmetrical, but they're not. Notice areas of tension, and as you exhale, see if you can soften. Can you allow the edges of the mouth to curl up to create a smile? Can we lift the fingertips and plant each one down so it's lightly touching our mat? What do we smell? What do we hear? Tuning into our breath. Nice deep breath in, press into the earth to turn our gaze and come back on up. We're going to keep our ramp here. We're going to turn around so that way the lower back is going to be at the base of our bolster. Coming into reclined bound ankle pose. Pads of our feet are going to come together and our knees are going to be out wide. Taking our hands on either side of the bolster and just come on back. Allowing gravity to do all the work for us in this posture. So this is one way that you can explore this asana or yoga pose. The second way with our prop is if you can't build a ramp based on what you have for your props, you can use whatever you're using for your blocks to support right behind the thighs. And then you can use your pillow to come to the base. And that works as well. As we inhale, we're going to notice how it feels for the pads of our feet to be touching one another. As we exhale, we're going to press the pads of the feet together and notice the engagement that happens in the legs. Take a nice deep breath in, squeeze, 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 and then as we exhale, release. So you can still feel the bottoms of the feet touching, but they're no longer pressing against each other. And see if you can get a little bit more external rotation out of the legs and the hips after engagement. Tapping into the present moment, what do you hear? Can you hear the crows from the video? What do you smell? And how do you feel? Observing what's happening in the body right now. Supta Baddha Konasana, we're getting into the hips. Where in the hips are you feeling? Do you feel the expansion happening between the clavicles, between the collarbones? It's a heart-opening pose with the use of our bolsters, how it is, and our palms facing up. Gently blinking the eyes, a little bit more aware. Nice slow deep breath in, exhale, turn the palms on down, sliding them towards our blocks, and then up the blocks to the outside of our thighs. Palms reach towards them, and then we're going to bring the knees on up. Made a fish pose, begin to extend one leg and the other. And then begin to take the palms facing up, back down by your side. A couple of variations that you can play here with your bolster. You can have your bolster set up with the ramp, like how it was. Second variation, with it flat, or the third variation is you can turn your bolster to be horizontal, going in between the shoulder blades. This is going to deepen a little bit more, and then the top of the shoulders will be off the bolster. Know that this is a little bit more of an intense heart opening position. So if this is a little bit too much, then come back into the first or second variation. Again, finding what works for you in your practice. I like to give a lot of options. It's a chance to explore and to play. Not everybody's practice is going to be the same. And once you find the variation that works for you, again, tap into the present moment. Take a nice slow deep breath in, and as we exhale, bend at the elbows, plant the hands. Tuck chin to chest, lifting the head, sliding the elbows back towards you, and then pressing on up, bending the knees. We're going to be coming in to Uttanasana Konasana, seated wide angle. We're going to take our blocks, we're going to move it towards the top of our mat. And then we're going to take one leg out and the other leg out, placing our hands beside. And we're going to find ourselves up on the tip, up on our sit bones. If we find that we really have to use our hands here, otherwise then we tend to round and go backwards, finding a wall can help with that. You can use a wall, or you can roll up the back end of your mat and then sit on the edge of that, and that'll help prop the hips on up. We're going to take our bolster out in front, and we're going to fold forward so that way our forehead is on the bolster or the pillow. And then bring our hands back behind us, find a little bit more length. This is an option if you are feeling a little more open today and you want to fold on forward onto your prop. You can do that. You can hug underneath and fold that way as well. There's a lot of different variations that you can play with your props. Once you find a variation that works for you with what you have and how you feel today, you begin to play with the toes. Maybe flex in point one and the other. Flexing the feet, turning the toes in, turning the toes out. And then find stillness. Finding your breath, tuning into the senses. And when we're observing our senses, try not to have judgment come in. Come at it as the observer. Just notice. A nice slow deep breath in. And as we exhale, place the hands forward once more. If you have the bolster supporting the forehead, Take the hands on either side of the bolster so that way you can remove the forehead from your bolster. Relax it on down. Take the hands from behind, assisting a bend in the knees, and then walk the legs on forward. Taking our bolster off towards the side, hands behind the windshield wipe, just drop one knee and the other. Finding our way to Sphinx pose, bring our bolster back to horizontal in front of us. We're going to come onto our bellies. And our bolster is going to be supporting our ribs, and then our forearms are going to be in front of our bolster. Our feet are actually going to be out wide. Think towards the edges of your rectangular mat. Elbows are going to be in line with shoulders. Supported Sphinx pose. Bring the block to support the forehead. And breathe here. And then taking in, what do you feel? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you see? We're going to keep our upper body how it is. We're going to take a bend into one of the knees, bringing our heel towards our glute. We're going to flex and point the toe, maybe move in a circular fashion. Change the breath, change the rotation. Flex the foot once more and release. Other side. Inhale. Heel towards the glute. Flex and point. And draw a circle. Change your breath. Other direction. And release on down with the exhalation. Inhale, lift the head up off of the block. Place one hand and the next onto the bolster and lifting on up. Turning the bolster so that way it's vertical on your mat. Using that to assist the hips as we come into easy pose. Sitting crisscross applesauce. Modified cat-cow. We're going to place our hands on the shin. We're going to reach our heart on forward, lift our chin. We're going to smile to the face. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, round the spine, bring that positive energy inward. 2 more of those. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale back. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Extend the arms on up. Exhale, release one down, fold over. Inhale up. Exhale, other side. Inhale up. Exhale, float those hands on down. We're going to switch what leg is in front. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Taking the left hand towards the right thigh. And then bring the other hand back behind you, maybe touching the back edge of the bolster, and twist. Keeping length in the spine. Nice deep breath in. As we exhale, begin to turn the head back towards the center, and then release. Same thing, other side. Inhale, brings it on up. Right hand towards the left thigh. Other hand comes back towards base or the back of the bolster and twist. Finding length through the spine. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, release the head, release the twist. Coming forward and releasing our bolster. Taking our bolster horizontal out in front. Moving one of our blocks back behind us and the other one out of the way. Just like how we started, we're going to take the bolster behind the back of the knees and lay on down. We're going to take our block behind. That way it's supporting the head horizontally. Just take a nice deep breath here. And a nice deep breath out. Taking one foot onto the bolster and the other foot onto the bolster. Extending one leg up towards the sky, crossing on over figure 4. Hand towards the thigh, lightly pressing, and hold. Two rounds of breath. Exhale, release the hand. Inhale, extend the leg up towards the sky. Float it straight. And then back in. Same thing, other side. Extend the leg up. Flex the foot, crossover, figure 4. Same hand on thigh and hold. At the end of your second round of breath, begin to release the hand, extend the leg up towards the sky, pointing down and straight, and then bring it back in. Coming into any other asana you need or yoga pose before we settle into Shavasana. Straightening one leg and the next, bolster behind the knees. You can choose to keep your block there to support the head or release. Tucking chin to chest. Palms floating up, rolling the shoulder blade back. Again, you can hit pause and stay here as long as you would like. Finding 3 thoughts of gratitude. What are you thankful for in this moment? You need to take the thumb to each finger, first pointer, middle, ring, and pinky finger, wiggling all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. Hugging one knee in and the next, hands wrap around the shins. Moving in a circle, massaging out the lower back. Changing that rotation, other direction. And then folding on to the side of your choice in a nice fetal position, taking this time for yourself. And when you are ready, press into the earth to come to a comfortable seat. You can use your bolster, just like we did in easy pose. Hands floating up towards the sky, palms connect, exhale, hands at heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your restorative journey. The light in me honors that positive light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. A friendly reminder, since this is our second week of class, that discussion questions are due in Canvas by Friday at midnight. I look forward to reading all of your responses. Thank you again.